Hey, Nick! What is it? Is something wrong? Keyboard? There it is. No, but did you see all the people here? It's crazy! Oh, look at this! I brought this Marty Moss publicity photo. Ooh! You bought that? Where? From the little tents in front of the courthouse. All sorts of things for sale. You know, I'm a sucker for this kind of stuff. Okay then. Something tells me I'm gonna have to compare that with the security photo. Go on, I'm guilty! Throw the book at me! Who's screaming like that? Oh, Mr. Wright, you made it! Yeah, I did, but it doesn't look like things are going to get any less ugly for you. Because I did it, I'm the criminal! Me! Ugh, he's at it again. I sent the calling card to Lordly Taylor, I admit it. But you don't have the sacred urn, right? Well, that's true, but that doesn't mean that I didn't commit the crime. Normally when I say of course you didn't, I'm being sarcastic, but you, yikes. Anyway, I admit that I'm guilty, so make sure to give me the guilty verdict, please! Oh, there you are, Ronnie. Bonjour, sweetie. Bonjour. Yeah, that means hello. Good. I thought that meant goodbye for a second there, but no. Oh, Desi, hello, but bonjour. Well, actually, I don't really know why I should be speaking French at you at a time like this. Leave it all to me, Ronnie. I swear I'll protect you. You see, actually, the thief is, Can I tell you something, Nicky boy? I can guarantee that Ronnie is innocent. If he's declared guilty, I'll be ever so cross with you. Oh, God. So why are you smiling when you say it? Well, if you'll excuse me, I've got some errands I need to take care of. I'm counting on you, Nicky boy. Good luck. To be honest, I really don't know whether Ron is Marsty Mask or not. But there's only one thing I am sure of. He doesn't have the secret urn right now. There it is. I was wondering why I wasn't clicking on I'm pressing Z. Mr. Delight, it's time for you to enter the courtroom. For the time being, I guess I'll have to trust Desiree. Sorry. Ah, there's Godot. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Ron Delight. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Oh, yeah. What about the prosecution? Are you prepared to? What a stupid question. What did you say? Fine. Let me ask you then, Your Honor. Are you ready? Are you ready to pass judgment? What? No, I'm not. I will pass judgment after I hear arguments from both sides. Well, if you're not ready yourself, you shouldn't expect others to be. That's a rule to live by. Who are you? I am Godot, legendary prosecutor. I've never lost a case. He's the one the detective Attourney was talking about. Yes, your reputation precedes you. What kind of cases have you dealt with so far? Huh, none. What did you say? I've never prosecuted a case before. Never? But you said you've never lost one. Exactly. I've never lost. I've never won before either. Quite arrogant for a beginner, aren't you? Even the mightiest of redwoods begin their lives as mere saplings. So he's a beginner like me? What the hell? I mean, I'm not a beginner. I've won cases. I've only lost one, and that was a choice. Yes, but a mask in a court of law? Huh, don't you know anything? No matter the man, we all wear masks, either on our faces or over our hearts. This guy's the real deal, alright, Nick? Why does he seem like all prosecutors are the real deal? So we finally meet Mr. Phoenix Wright. Nick, is he a friend of yours? No, I don't have any friends that call me Trite. Is that meant to be a pun? Because he didn't correct him. Just who is the masked man? I've returned from the depths of hell to do battles with you. Well then, Prosecutor Godot. It's not Garbo, it's Godot, Your Honor. In any case, please give your opening statement. Opening statement? Those things are not fit for even dogs to consume. I have only one thing to say before we start. To you, Mr. Trite. What is it? Are you familiar with the saying, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link? Yeah, I know what that means. It means if, usually chains are always connected by the circular metal things, and even if one of them is weak, then it all comes crashing down. I wonder, how much you can withstand before you and your case break in two? You gotta realize, this is hilarious, this game, because they're all having arguments, but in the end, it's what is true with the case, but they're all trying to make it into a huge, I'm a winner kind of thing. I won this, it was me who did this. But in the end, it's just, who's the one who did the crime? Well then, let's hear from the first witness. Dick Gumshoe. My name is... No one has asked for your name, witness. The important thing is what you know, that's all. Start talking. We're listening. Yes, sir. Alright, witness. First, let's hear about what you know about the thief that stole the urn. Yes, sir. Wow, that was quick. I'm gonna like Godot. He speeds everything up. He looks awesome as well. Master Mask is a master thief that first started his crime spree 6 months ago. He's so confident that he sends his calling card before he even commits the crime. This was his 5th heist, and as usual he sent a card onto Lordly Taylor. His pattern is to always go after only the most precious art pieces. That's why we're sure it was Master Mask, sir. It fits his MO to a T. But he went after the urn, which was meant to be which was not worth anything. Even though Andrian washed it and everything. So then the actual identity of the Master Mask is... Mr. Godot, you... Oh yes, I'm gonna love this guy. We're in the middle of trial here, Mr. Godot. Blacker than a moonless night, hotter and more bitter than hell itself. That is... coffee. Oh yes! Give me the coffee! I'm sure you can grant me at least this much, Your Honor. Oh, please proceed. I can't think of a good voice for Godot because I can't stay with the voices for too long. I end up going to my normal voice. But I'm trying to keep him a very deep voice, but very soothed at the same time. Very well, it's only coffee after all. What? You can't be letting him slide this early in the trial. Proceed with your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Well, Nick, what are you going to do? I already know what to do. As long as they haven't brought up Mr. Delight's identity, all we can do is show that it wasn't Master Mask who stole that urn. Master Mask is a master thief that first started his crime spree just 6 months ago. He's so confident that he sends his calling card before he even commits the crime. This is his 5th heist and is usually sent a card on Little Taylor. His pattern is to always go after the most precious art pieces. Didn't mean to click that. Art pieces? Like what, for example? Well, his first target was the famous Tear of Ammonon. Is that some kind of especially salty teardrop? No, sir. It's a blue diamond. A single rare diamond. Next with the crown of Bongoro, you know, the thing you put on your head. After that was the left hand of Hades and the portrait of Megina, sir. Detective Attourney retrieved the portrait of Megina and returned it to the museum. And the target of his 5th and last robbery was the sacred urn. Is it difficult for him to dispose of such a famous art piece? Well, we assume he must have some underworld connections. Somehow Mr. July doesn't look the type. Yeah, he's a little too sunny to be hanging out in the underworld. Yeah, because Adrian said that even though she washed up the whole thing, they said it was still priceless. It was still not worth anything. Can I ask you a little something, Detective Gumshoe? Just hearing the little in that question is making me nervous. You said that he always goes after the most precious art pieces, right? That's right, pal. But there's one problem. That's not what he did in this case. The supposedly priceless urn doesn't exactly rise to the level of precious art. What do you mean? Nick, how can you say such a terrible thing? No, I meant from a financial point of view. I mean, it wouldn't fetch a good price. Well, Prosecutor Godot, what is the value of that urn? The appraisers I spoke to said that they couldn't attach a price to it. And I mean that in the worst sense. So in other words, it was not the kind of item the Master Mask would normally go after. if I understand you correctly, Mr. Wright, you're saying that the theft of the sacred owl was not the work of Master Mask? Yes, that's what I'm saying. Actually, all I did was point out the contradiction the argument made itself, but... Well, first of all, we need to get this issue cleared up. Was the last robbery the work of Master Mask or not? What do you have to say about this, Mr. Godot? This coffee here, it's my own special blend. I call it Godot number 107. I'm trying to decide whether to cut down on the acidity or the bitterness. That's the only thing I've got on my mind right now, Mr. Trite. What? If you're really a man, you should clean up your own mess. Sorry, but I don't get what you mean. If you're saying it wasn't Master Mask that stole the urn, then it must be someone imitating Master Mask methods. A fake. A fake mask? Fake mask? That sounds so ridiculous, but I like it. No, before I decide on my coffee, I believe some proof is in order, Mr. Trite. Proof that the person who appeared at Lordly Taylor that night was actually a fake. Though I don't approve of Mr. Godot's behavior, his point is valid. Mr. Wright, we're waiting. I'm even gonna have to prove it. I need proof that the person at Lordly Taylor that night was in fact fake Mask. Boom. Oh. Ah, well, it proves someone here is a fake, alright? It proves that this liar is a fake. I get it, okay? I posted the wrong thing. Yeah. I'm gonna lose some points. It's only a small amount. Cool. It's something about Ace Attorney. Like, you're not an Ace Attorney. The proof is right here. Yeah, I thought so. This looks like a photo taken by a security camera. But if you look closely, you'll notice something peculiar about it. Ha! Well then, why don't you go ahead and show us what it is? It is. Yes. It's right here, of course. You mean Master Mask? I have here a piece of reference I would like the court to take a look at. Isn't that the publicity photo I pulled this morning? Yeah, there's something there, like a face. The problem I have with this security camera photo, is the brooch on Mask's chest. A breach? Heh, Balaf, get me steed. Get my steed, we need to retreat. Oh, what the? What? A brooch, Your Honor. It's sort of a clasp for holding one's cape on. A clasp. Oh, I see now. Keep the horse safe. Don't let it be seen by the evil breaches. But the Master Mask in the security camera photo. Ah, he has no brooch. That brooch is the same as the emblem on Master Mask's calling card and serves as his symbol. But the thief that broke into Lordly Taylor wasn't wearing a brooch. Maybe he was smart, maybe he took it off. In other words, this Master Mask is a fake. I've been fooled again! Yeah, order. It's true, unbelievably true. Deputy Gumshoe, how could you have overlooked this? I'm sorry, sir. I don't know how I... Oh god, more coffee. Hey now, if you're going to have a pity party, invite me too. Mr. Godot, you deserve some blame in this too. How could you have overlooked such a large brooch? Huh, the brooch you're talking about. Do you mean this? That's Master Mask's brooch. Where did you find it? Well, I've always had a good nose for evidence. I got it at the crime scene. It was hidden in the shadow of a big female Buddha statue. Buddha statue? You must mean the Maya Fey statue. Well, why didn't you tell me about that, sir? I always put evidence away in my pockets. After all, it's the safest place for crucial evidence. This guy's one cool customer. It's a little early to be shaken up, isn't it, little lady? That friend of yours left pretty little hickeys on there, too. Figuratively speaking, of course. I'm referring to Ron D-Light's fingerprints. What? The defendant's fingerprints on the brooch? Order in the court. Mr. Godot, let's see that brooch. I've grown attached to my metallic girlfriend here. Take good care of her. Take good care of her. It appears to have been torn off some clothing. There's a little bit of cloth left in the back. Obviously, there must have been a bit of a struggle that night at the crime scene. Uh-oh. Phoenix, we have a problem. Ha! You mess with Godot, and you get burned. He's been playing me like a violin. Well, Judge, I'm about ready to call my next witness. Huh? You're done with me? But I haven't proved anything yet. You've proven your own incompetence. That's good enough. That doesn't sound good at all. Balif, bring the next witness into the courtroom. Finally, time for the ace detective to make his appearance. Huh? Oh, he was questioning whether it was going to be the ace detective. 1 second is one drip of the coffee pot. Let's hurry up. Silence! Hehehe. Now I see, it's all becoming clear. What's clear? Zavari. The truth has once again been elegantly revealed to me. What we have here is a judge and a prosecutor. A coffee maniac, that is. Am I correct? I'm gonna give this guy this voice from now on. Well, yes, that's right. Ha! Not bad at all. You're the first person that's ever been able to penetrate my secret veil. Well, sir, prosecutor, let me introduce myself. My name is Attourney, ice detective and rising star illuminating the heavens. Boy, these two make a perfect pair. They'd either be best friends or they'd tear each other's head off. I've heard that on the night of the crime you were all alone on secret detail. Detail? Security detail? I didn't read that properly. You have heard correctly. My specially made monocle is worth more than 100 Detective Gum shows. If Detective Gum show is worth anything, that is. How is this guy all by himself, anyway? There must be some reason, I'm sure of it. Well then, tell us what this special monocle of yours witnessed. Alright, let's do. It was approximately 1 o'clock in the morning, just after the date changed. That's when my nemesis, the infamous Marsty Mask, dancingly descended upon me. Just as I began to turn, the coward struck a fierce blow upon my noble head. Darkness swallowed me before I could land a single strike. When I awoke, he was gone. 30 minutes later, I used an emergency phone to notify the police. So you didn't get a clear look at the criminal? My specially made monocle never misses a thing. However, that is limited to the things that fall within my own visual range. But of course, that's only natural. I fail to see why the witness seems so proud of his performance that evening. Well, Sir Old-Timer, let me explain. We are not speaking of any ordinary thief, but of the king of thieves, that great Mask-de-Mask, my arch-enemy. That is what my instincts and my years of experience tell me. Very well. Proceed with the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. What I witnessed. Alright. Okay then. It was approximately 1 o'clock in the morning. Okay, that's when my nemesis, the infamous Marsty Mask, dancingly descended upon me. Just as I began to turn, the coward struck a fierce blow upon my noble head. Darkness swallowed me up before I could land a single strike. When I woke, it was gone. 30 minutes later, I used an emergency phone to notify the police. The question that I have is, if you weren't able to land a single blow, then what made him so clumsy that he dropped the breach? Because obviously he must have been hit or he must have been distracted or something, right? Objection! Mr. Adme, Could you take a look at this with the special monocle of yours? Aha! This belongs to the criminal mastermind, my arch nemesis, Mask DeMask. It is, in point of fact, Mask DeMask's brooch. It was found on the floor of the basement warehouse. I wonder how that happened. Huh, elementary, my dear lawyer. Obviously, it was glued on well enough. Okay. It wasn't glued on well enough. Not quite. It clearly shows signs of having been ripped off a piece of clothing. Ripped off? Aha! We can only deduce that the thief struggled with someone that night. That's the only thing I can think of. And there's only one person that was in position to have a struggle with the thief. The only person that was on security duty that night. You, Detective Attourney. Detective Attourney, you must have fought with the thief that night. So why did you lie in your testimony to the court? Witness, giving false testimony is a serious crime. No. Wait just a minute, sir, old-timer. Don't talk to me like I'm living in a nursing home. I just remembered, Your Honor. I was just confused because I've been dealing with so many cases lately. The true measure of a man is the amount of work he does. That's what I always say. Nick, you can only handle one case at a time, isn't that right? You talk too much. Witness, so you were now saying that you are the thief that fought. You and the thief fought. Hold on, that's quite enough, Your Honor. Excuse me? Oh God. Save the big questions for the testimony. That's one of my rules. Indeed, I understand. I look at me, agree completely. Alright, fight with thief. I'm not going to be able to keep his voice forever. I hope you guys remember that. I'm not good with keeping voices for ages. Indeed, it's true that I looked away from the door for a brief moment. However, look at me cannot be so easily discombobulated. Unfortunately, the thief grabbed a weapon from the side and rendered me senseless. A true gentleman fights only with his own fists, but they were not enough. His first blow struck true. Bam! And that's all she wrote. So in the end, you did catch a glimpse of Master Mask. Correct! It was during his third crime that he struck me from behind. It seems that my memory has become a tad jumbled, as to speak. Well, that's certainly understandable. I myself have always got confused about which testimony goes with which case. That can't be good. Fight with the thief. Indeed, it's true that I looked away from the door for a brief moment. However, look at me cannot be so easily discombobulated. Unfortunately, the thief grabbed a weapon from the side and rendered me senseless. A true gentleman fights only with his own fists, but they were not enough. His first blow struck true. Can you tell us a little more about what happened? My opponent was both powerful and vicious, you might say. He was power-vicious. Power-vicious? I assumed that Attourney fighting stance, but a sudden flash of light blinded me. That, of course, was checkmate. My opponent had bested me. What do I do now? Should I ask more? Attourney fighting style? What is this Attourney fighting style? I'm sorry, but that's a trade secret. I really can't say any more. But I suppose I can tell you if I absolutely must. The main thing is to put your back to the wall. That way no one can get behind you. That's it? That's the Attourney fighting style? Well, Mr. Wright, what about the testimony? It was very important. Of course it's important. We've learned the detective's secret technique after all. Yes, indeed. I'll remember to use it if I ever take a walk alone late at night. Why the heck is he eyeballing me like that? It's creeping me out. Now then, witness, we'll go ahead and add that secret information to your official testimony. I put my back to the wall to fight, but the thief's blow landed upon my third eye. Does he mean he's forward? Alright, if... Oh, whoops. I wasn't meant to click that! There. Detective Attourney, your testimony is crumbling like a house of cards. What fun this is, Sir Lawyer. It's truly a pleasure to cross swords with you. And now, once again, you have thrown down the gauntlet to my armored feet. I believe this is what you said yesterday. No, the cow must have wormed his way through somewhere besides the door. Then my arch-nemesis struck me on the head from behind with this gruesome item here. From behind, huh? But just now you testify that he struck you on the forehead. I hardly think you could forget where you were hit on the head. It seems I've made another mistake. Detective Attourney, that's not the only strange part of your testimony. What do you mean by that? For example, the very fact that you hit the calling card from the police itself is strange. It's almost as if you were afraid they were going to help with security. Geniuses such as myself have always been misunderstood. That's wrong. Objection! Oh yeah. To err is human, to forgive divine. Humans are machines, they have souls, feelings. They live, they die, they love, they hate, then yes, they even make mistakes. Hey, hold on, it's not as pretty as that. Really, what is it like then? Always chase a riddle down to the end, that's one of my rules. This is it. This might just be my chance to turn things around. Mr. Wright, what exactly is it that you're asserting? Very well, Your Honor. The defense asserts that Mr. Attourney is mask demask. The answer is simple. It's all clear to me now. Detective Luke Attourney's true identity is actually mask demask. Woohoo! Order in the court. Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this? There are too many unnatural parts to Mr. Attourney's story. He says he was hiding in the crime scene, which is why no one ever saw him there. And then in his last case, he managed to outperform Detective Gumshoe and the entire police force to miraculously retrieve the stolen treasure. That's because I analyzed the crime scene data and made an exquisitely elegant deduction. I picked up clues that the police overlooked in order to arrive at a... Oh, please, the explanation is far simpler than that, Detective Attourney. The truth is that you are, in fact, mask demask. But Mr. Wright, this photo clearly shows mask demask. The security camera belongs to a lowly Taylor department store. You shouldn't have been able to manipulate it. He didn't need to manipulate it. He gained access to the warehouse under the pretense of providing security. Then he simply dressed as the thief and stole the... No, that's wrong. That's actually wrong. I must admit, I'm sorry, but... Okay, I'm gonna go a little off topic here, but if you look closely at the security camera, look at what he's wearing. That's exactly the same clothing, except it has like a hat and a mask and something under his arm. Looks exactly like Ron D-Light's costume. And there was a blackmail thing. So I don't know where that address was, but most likely he was blackmailed to stand in front of that security camera. So imagine this. The ace detective designed the security camera to make proof that he walked in, just to prove that Mask demask was there. And then he saw the sacred urn, walked off with it, made Ron come in, take a photo of him, but he forgot the brooch. And I don't know why he would have forgot the brooch. I don't understand that part, but I think that's Ron in the photo and he was used as blackmail. Is this true, witness? Uh-huh. Demask's MO is pure genius, and so am I, Luke Attourney, ace detective. You're very clever to have come to such a conclusion. I am impressed, sir lawyer. What? Witness, you're admitting it? Nick, now's your chance. Yes, time to put this last nail in the guy's coffin. Detective Attourney, when you assumed the... Oh my god, Godot, I love you! Godot Blend number 102, my personal favorite. Mr. Godot! The ace detective is actually an ace thief. I smell a best-selling novel. There's only one problem, it simply isn't true. But Mr. Godot, Mr. Wright has made some very strong points, and I will admit my opponent has woven a compelling narrative out of whole cloth. But it is, in fact, nothing more than a patchwork quilt, Mr. Trite. If this detective really is the thief, then show us the proof of your claim. But it had better be as hard as perfect as the coffee dripping down your face. Well, Mr. Wright, don't just stand there. This court would like to see this decisive proof you have. Huh? Oh, yes, of course. What's the big rush? Are you alright, Nick? Attourney looks pretty rattled right now. I'd like to finish this right now if I can. Can I really do it? Decisive evidence that proves Mr. Luke Attourney is in fact Master Mask has yet to be found. I think I haven't found it. Proof? Of course, I've got nothing. Huh, just what I thought. A man is to hold his head up high no matter how bad things get, after all. Ugh. I see. I thought perhaps you had some evidence to back up your assertion. This is no good. Better stay on the attack. We'll never get another chance to prove this guy's the thief. Don't give up, Nick. Think harder and try again. It's no good. I'm just not ready yet. But, are you going to just give up and let us lose this? So, you've come to your senses, have you, sir lawyer? I can't think of a counterattack. It seems the cloud of suspicion surrounding the witness is lifted. Mr. Godot, if you have anything further to add. What? Who? Oh. Who are you? That doesn't really matter right now, does it? Mr. Light, what are you doing here? Nicky boy. The thing you've been looking for. I think I found it. You mean, that bag? No, not the bag. What's in the bag? Well, it says Amy. That's the sacred urn. No, it isn't. You, madam, that urn, where did you find it? Never believe it. It was in the office of Mr. Fancy Pants, ace detective, Luke Attourney. Oh, Desi, you're the best. Well, how do you explain that one, Mr. Attourney? Even you are going to have a hard time wheezing out of this one. Huh, pathetic. Mr. Godot, do you have something you wish to say? Yes, Your Honor. It simply amazes me how quickly times change. In the old days, a man was to be taken at his word. It's truly sad. You're still denying that Mr. Attourney was involved? Before casting aspersions at Detective Attourney, consider the young lady here. Your name is Desiree. Desiree Delight, is that correct? Yes, what about it? Huh, how charming. The lengths that a woman is willing to go to save her husband is truly inspiring. What are you insinuating? As the wife of the criminal, you could have discovered that stolen urn anywhere. Including the office of the good detective here. So you found that urn. What does that prove? It certainly doesn't prove where the urn was before you found it. What? I just brought it here from the detective's office. Please, madam. This town is already filled to the brim with lies. Any more could only compound the tragedy we have been witness to. You're wrong. I would never do such a thing. Mr. Light, please, Nicky boy, you gotta help me take some sense into these people. There must be some way. I've gotta prove that urn was actually in the Attourney Detective Agency. Show fingerprints in the urn. I can prove where the urn was. By the fingerprints on it. Fingerprints, huh? Oh, come now. Now you're really making me laugh, sir lawyer. Fingerprints indeed. May I go on? Good. Now, it would be perfectly understandable if my fingerprints were on the urn. After all, it was I who was guarding the urn in the first place. In any case, I am always in the habit of wearing gloves, as you can see. So unfortunately, my fingerprints wouldn't be evidence of anything. What about it, Mr. Wright? The witness's fingerprints would mean nothing anyway. Nick, what are you doing now? I've come too far to turn back now. Attorney must have brought the urn back to his office yesterday. And there, I'm sure someone must have left their fingerprints on it. The defense proposes that the fingerprints of this person should be on the urn. It should be my fingerprint, shouldn't it? Because I'm the one... Yeah. I'm the one who touched it, if I remember right. Because I touched it. So what is all this fuss about fingerprints anyway? Mr. Attourney, do you recall the events of yesterday? Hey, Nick, come on, open it up. Hey, wait a minute, we can't just open his private property. Don't be such a fuddy-duddy. This is an important investigation. Well, what's in there? Hang on a sec, I'm taking it out now. Whatever it is, it feels kinda hard and smooth. Oh yeah, we did touch it. Well, hello there. It's true that I didn't get a chance to look in the bag at the time, but I did touch what was inside. What? You touched it? And I remember it very well. It was smooth and hard. That was just... Your Honor, I'd like the court to examine the fingerprints on that urn. If my fingerprints are on there, then it proves that the urn was in Detective Attourney's office. Well, even if your fingerprints are on the urn, it still doesn't prove when they were put on there, does it? Of course it does. What did you say? Not what I said. It's what Adrian Andrews, the person in charge of the exhibition, said. I polished it until it was just about glowing. Thought maybe I could make it look more valuable. If she polished it that much, she must have removed any and all fingerprints on it. And the only chance I had to get my fingerprints on it after that was yesterday at the Attorney's detective agency. This blend, Godot blend number 107, I've decided it's a little too bitter after all. Order! I accept the defense's request. Balif, take this urn and... Wait a moment, Your Honor. There's no need for that. No need, you say? Precisely. I already know Mr. Wright's fingerprints are on that urn. What are you saying? Yes, I've finally broken him down. Oh god. Take a good look, everyone. Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown. This guy's nuttier than a fruitcake. You see, it was me all along. I am the one and only Musky Mask. I hope you all enjoyed my little performance. Oh god, this guy is just crazy. Is he saying the truth, though? That's what I'm wondering about, because I find it hard to believe that he's actually Marty Mask. I don't know, it's just, I guess you could say just instinct. Well, Mr. Godot, what's Mr. Attorney's condition? He's still in the lobby, laughing insanely, Your Honor. I wish I could enjoy the joke as much as he seems to be. Well, it looks like the matter has been settled. I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man, besmirching him with the title of thief. Nick, you were right after all. Yeah, I guess Mr. Delight really wasn't the thief. The court finds the defendant Mr. Ron Delight. You're wrong, I tell you. I mean, not exactly wrong as much as so much, but actually not right is what I was really trying to say. Oh no, he's not. This can't be happening. The thief, the sneaky, odious thief who's been stealing all the treasure. It's me, it's him! I'm the one you want. I'm the thief, I tell you! So do it! Pronounce me guilty! I don't know what kind of kangaroo court you all think this is, but... The true identity of the thief has already been proven. Please hurry up and pass, Judge. What are you talking about? I already confessed. I'm the thief, I tell you! loving Godot so much. Mr. Godot, don't just stand there drinking coffee. Huh. Hey there, Mr. Thief. Yes, sir. If you're really a man, then clean up your own mess. I'm sorry? I'm afraid I just don't have any idea what you mean. If you're masked, then prove it. That's what it means. Yes, sir. He says you'll be happy, dude? Nick. It's kinda cute. He's 100% committed to his fantasy. Good boy, just remember one thing. A boy only gets one chance in his life to become a man. I know that. I won't fail, I swear. Okay then, talk. We're all listening. Oh well. Let's all have a night listen to this confession. Oh god, this is gonna be hilarious. This is actually a considerably short trial. The truth is, I've been Marsty Mask all along. I mean, you can't prove that I'm not actually Marsty Mask, can you? I don't have an alibi for the night the urn was stolen, after all. I donned my costume that night and dancingly descended upon the scene of the crime. Look, you can see right there in the photo, that's me. That's my brooch. I snagged it on the door handle and it got torn off, that's all. I don't like the direction this trial is taken. But this is how every trial goes, at least with me, anyway. You're doing great. Stop it, Mr. Godot, you're embarrassing me. Like I said, you're only going to get one chance to testify, alright? But if you make it through this with flying colors, I'll keep my promise too. I'll make sure you stay locked up in prison as the one and only true Marsty Mask. Why is he... This guy is... He must have some kind of mental illness? Like... I'm not saying that in a rude way, I'm just trying to say, why is he... like this? He has some kind of weird fantasy, like, I don't know... It's more than an addiction. It's like he's... I don't know. Maybe it is the blackmail, but I don't know. It just seems really weird. Like, it's probably the blackmail, and he's being blackmailed so much because maybe he has some kind of secret behind how rich he is, or maybe something like that. I don't know. Or maybe it is a mental illness, and maybe he's just believing he's Marsty Mask because he believes Marsty Mask is really amazing in what he does, but there's no exact thing that I can think of right now. Though it's probably just blackmail, honestly. That's probably what it is. The truth is, I've been Marsty Mask all along. I mean, you can't prove that I'm not actually Marsty Mask. Yes, I can. Go shut up. Mr. Delight, this wallet belongs to you, correct? Yes, it does. I had lost it somewhere. Mr. Wright, when did you find that wallet? You should report it to the police right away. No, you don't understand. This is an important piece of evidence. Evidence? Mr. Delight, when did you first notice that you'd lost your wallet? Let's see. I think it was on the night of the crime? But I know I still had it when Desi and I went out for dinner. This wallet was found at approximately 1 AM at KB Security Headquarters. What? Surely you're not serious. Yes, I am serious. This proves that Mr. Delight was in fact at KB Security that night. So the defendant was at KB Security at 1 o'clock in the morning, and that proves that he had a watertight alibi. Furthermore, considering the distance between Lordly Taylor and KB Security, it would have taken 30 minutes to get there by car, according to Larry. That last bit was in blue, which went into his thoughts. Well, Mr. Godot, do you have anything to say? And stop drinking that coffee! Come on, Mr. Thief. Don't let this guy beat you. Tell him he's wrong. You're the only one that calls me a thief, Mr. Godot. Alright, I'll try. I'll do it. I will. No! He's really got Mr. Delight all worked up. Yeah, he's like a kid in his first day of school. Look, it's just ridiculous. Why would I have dropped my wallet at KB Security? Someone must have planted it there to make it look like I was there and not at a heist. Planted it there? It's really reaching now. Mr. Delight, you probably dropped your wallet when you took it out to use this, didn't you? Keycard to KB Security CEO office. No. Ha! That was a pretty good try, Mr. Wright. Unfortunately, you've overlooked one small thing. What? The motive, of course. Why would the thief go to KB Security in the middle of the night anyway?
Mr. Wright. Looks like you need some more evidence after all.
Stupid kid.
Now then, let's see your evidence. The evidence that shows why Mr. Delight went to KB Security that night. The blackmail letter. Mr. Delight, I believe you've seen this before, correct? Let me just double check what's on the blackmail letter. If you don't want your true identity revealed to the world, come to KB Security at 1 AM on October 12th and bring 50,000. If you don't, I'll take that red diamond you received the other day instead. Wait. Red diamond? Didn't Attourney say he received a gem? Oh. That's... What is it? A blackmail letter. That's what it looks like from the contents. Blackmail? Yes, basically it says bring $50,000.
That certainly sounds like blackmail, alright.
At the time of the theft, Mr. Delight was dealing with the blackmailer himself. In KB Security's CEO office, a full half an hour away from the scene of the crime.
No! Order! I'm gonna have an asthma attack right now, heart attack, I don't know. What do old people have?
So when the theft of the urn occurred, the defendant was at KB Security. Looks like a perfect case for the defense.
You may see it as a perfect case, Judge. But to me...
Well, let's just say that my Godot Blend 107 impresses me a lot more. What are you trying to say? You say the thief was better being blackmailed by the CEO of a security company. But did you actually investigate the CEO at all?
Well, no, I guess not.
Accusing a man of blackmail with no proof. I'm not sure what I think of that.
Not sure what I think of that?
At least I know what I think of you.
Good point. I'm not sure what I think of it myself.
You claim that the defendant entered the CEO's office. But you will need at least one witness to corroborate your claim, Mr. Wright. I think we're going to have to track down the CEO guy. No, we don't have to track down the CEO at all.
What do you mean by that, Mr. Trite?
There is someone else who can testify. This is the person who can testify that the key card was used at 1 AM that night.
What? Who is this useless-looking young man?
You don't remember him, Your Honor?
Not exactly.
Just looking at his picture makes the bile start to rise in my throat. Looks like he doesn't remember the case from 2 years ago. Probably blacked out of the memory on purpose. Anyway, this man was working as a guard at KB Security that night.
Oh?
The question at hand is the key card. Yep, that's the key card they use in the building I work. According to the serial number, this one is for the CEO's office. You need to get into that room, and every time you use that card, it leaves a record. Yeah, it tells you exactly who entered the room and when. As you can see, there's no need to investigate the CEO. You should be able to discover the truth simply by analyzing this key card's data.
Bruh! Achoo! This coffee tastes disgusting.
Well, Mr. Godot, but the name of the CEO is KB Security is Kane Bullard. I was unable to contact him directly, but I got the keycard data here.
So what does it show?
Each keycard has its own serial number and they leave detailed records of their use. According to this data, this keycard was used at 1 AM on the morning of the crime. But what's the bet they're gonna be like? Maybe he didn't use the keycard, maybe someone else did. Who knows? But that means it can't be Mr. Light dressed as Monty Mask in this photo. Huh, it looks like you're right. 2 minutes isn't even enough time to brew a good cup of joe. So then, Ron D. Light was clearly in the office of KB Security CEO at the time. The prosecutor's office is ready to admit that fact. Therefore, it's impossible for the defendant to be Monty Mask.
Yeah!
That's enough. You came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man. Besmirching him with the title of thief. What's wrong, Your Honor? I'm ready to pass judgment, but before I do that, do you have any further objections? No, Your Honor. Very well. The court finds the defender, Mr. Rondelite, not guilty. Court is now adjourned. October 13, 2:24 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 4. Nick, you did it! You were right after all! Actually, I'm a little bit ashamed of myself. Nicky boy! Oh, Mr. Light. I knew you could do it. I believed in you all along, Nicky boy. I don't know how I can ever repay you. Aw, shucks. Thanks, Mr. Light. I just know I'm blushing. Congratulations, Mr. Nick. Oh, Pearls. I've got a bad feeling about this. Who is this woman? Oh, she's nobody. She's just, You're blushing. How dare you do this in front of Mr. Maya? You should be ashamed of yourself. Ouch! She slapped me. I'm Pearly. This woman is Miss Desiree Delight. She's our client's wife. Mr. Nick. Yes? You're even worse than I thought. Going behind the back of your own client. No, you got it all wrong. I'll never forgive you! Ow, a double slap. Well, anyway, all's well that ends well, right? We got the sacred urn back and the thief is... No, we haven't. It says Amy. You're so right, and it's all thanks to Nicky Boy here. But it actually was you, Mr. Light, that brought us our urn back. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Oh, please, you're embarrassing me. If we won this case, why does this guy still look so glum? But I am the thief. Actually, what's the point now? What is it, honey? I did my best for you, Ronnie. I know that, and I appreciate it, Desi. But the thing is... Come on, give the kid some time. He's just got a little touch of the blues. You know about feeling blue, right, amigo? Mr. Godot, what are you doing here? Oh, come on, I just came here to say thanks to my newest buddy. You, Mr. Wright. Maybe you should learn my name before you call me buddy. Well, playtime's over. Huh? Early this morning, the body of Cain Bullard was... What? Cain Bullard? Wherever... The CEO? Isn't that the name of the CEO of KB Security? Body? The estimated time of death was 1 AM on October 12th. Oh my fucking god! Oh! That's right, amigo. At the same time that a cheap little urn was being stolen, the CEO of KB Security was being murdered. So then what are you doing here? Oh, come on, you figured out already, haven't you, amigo? Or have you already forgotten about that piece of info I helped you out with today? Helped me out? What? On October 12th, at 1 o'clock in the morning, Rondi Lai was in the CEO's office, the scene of the murder. After getting that blackmail letter, he must have been imbrued with utter rage. What are you saying, imbrued with rage? Come on, don't tell me you didn't know. Rondi Lai was once an employee of KB Security. He was a professional security guard. An employee of KB Security? It looks like the alibi that saved him from being convicted as a thief is going to be the noose that gets him hanged. Kind of an anti-alibi. No way. He can't be the thief because he was at the murder scene when the murder occurred. No, that's a lie. Can't be true. But I am a thief, I tell you. Oh. He's trying to say he's a thief because he's actually a murderer? Rondi Light, you're going back to prison again. This time the charge is much more worse. This time you'll be tried for murder. What? It's impossible! I'm looking forward to another exciting showdown, Mr. Trite. You and I aren't through with each other yet. Surely you won't back down from a challenge. You've never been a coward. Mr. Nick, is there something personal between you two? I've returned from the depths of hell to do battle with you. At least let me have some fun while I'm here. This guy, who the heck is he? He may be quiet, but he's the most dangerous enemy I've ever faced. Well then, time to say goodbye to Mr. Delight. Nick, how could this be happening? Right in front of our very eyes, our client has been arrested for murder. And the one who established his presence at the scene was me. Ready! Arrest. I can't even see the T properly because it's just so tiny. Arrested for murder on the very same day he's declared innocent of larceny. What the heck's gonna happen next? I wonder. To be continued.